Hey, all my Earthlings and beings, it's Rod D, Orange Ninja News. We're talking about the news is what we do. Alright, we're looking at some different trending topics today. Yeah, and the first story I see is about a Nebraska priest that said he performed an exorcism at the Capitol. And on that story, I'm just thinking, yeah, some people will be making it to the front line for news and getting these getting out here with their news story when some of the stuff like that a guy performs, a priest said he performs an exorcism. That's that's him and the way he feel about it and what he says. You know what I'm saying? There might be some people that don't even believe in the exorcism, so what he's saying might even don't even relate to him. So yeah, it's like a guy saying that he did something with a ghost or banished a ghost somewhere. Well, if you're somebody who don't believe in ghosts, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's like, wait, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I ain't gonna do that new story. We ain't gonna talk about that one. That's kind of weird. Get into something that I do like. This something about the Hubble telescope. Yeah, this story is from NASA TV. So this news article's by NASA TV, and it says the life of a planetary nebula is often chaotic, from the death of its parent star to the scattering of its contents far out in space. That's pretty cool. And one such planetary nebula located in the constellation of Scorpius, the Scorpion, and the constellation, the stars make different designs in the air and stuff, and those are the different constellations. And the Scorpion design that they call Scorpius is the one they're talking about. The oblate shells of ESO 45510, previously held tightly together as layers of its central star, not only give its planetary nebula its unique appearance, but also offer information about the nebula seen in the field of stars. The distinct arc of material over the north side of the nebula is a clear sign of interactions between ESO 45510 and the interstellar medium. The interstellar medium is the material such as diffuse gas between star systems and galaxies. The star at the center of the ESO 45510 allows Hubble to see the interaction with the gas and dust of the nebula, the surrounding interstellar medium, and the light from the star itself. Planetary nebula are thought to be crucial in galactic enrichment as they distribute their elements, particularly the heavier metal elements produced inside a star, into the interstellar medium, which will in time form the next generation of stars. And so the Hubble telescope caught this beautiful picture, which I got here, and it's basically just it's a interstellar interaction, and like I said, it's at the Scorpion constellation, also known as the Scorpius, and the telescope was watching it while the star was making a real beautiful scene out in space. And let me give you the definition of a nebula. Okay, a nebula is a cloud of gas and dust in outer space, visible in the night sky, either as an indistinct bright patch or as a dark silhouette against other luminous matter. And I mean, these nebulas are really beautiful. I always like to see Hubble pictures of them, and some of them are, they're real fascinating. And you can kind of, I know one that they had, it looked like a picture of a face, and it's always, you can see different stuff in them too, man. It's really crazy, man. If you ever get a chance to look up some of the pictures from the Hubble satellite, man, I'm telling you, it's real fascinating. Yeah, this next news article is from The Verge. This article's from The Verge, and this one's got me going like, whoa, man, because listen, we only got one ride out in the space right now. that's up and running as far as on the American side, because they got SpaceX has a competitor here in the States that they're not up and running like SpaceX right now though. So right now, unless we're going to hitchhike rides into space like we been doing from Russia, you know, we ride up on their rockets to get, and rely on that to get back and forth. You know, SpaceX came and stepped up the game and put America back on the board where we ain't got to hitch rides from others. And it's like, yeah, how they, you know what I'm saying, how they under scrutiny already, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Well, let me get into the article. It says, Elon Musk, SpaceX violated its launch license and explosive Starship test, triggering an FAA probe. And it says, SpaceX upcoming test launches are getting extra scrutiny. SpaceX first high-altitude test flight of its Starship rocket, which launched successfully, but exploded in a botched landing attempt in December, violated the terms of its Federal Aviation Administration test license. And of course, that's from the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration. That's what FAA stands for. So whenever you hear that, according to two people familiar with the incident, both the landing explosion and license violation prompted a formal investigation by the FAA, driving regulators to put extra scrutiny on Elon Musk's hasty Mars rocket test campaign. Now, come on, man. We just want to go to Mars. Like, yeah, man, there's always some tape you have to try to cut through, extra rules, all types of stuff, man. I guess that's in anything. Okay. The December test launch of the serial number 8 Starship prototype at SpaceX Boca Chica, Texas facilities was hailed by Musk as a success. Mars, here we come, the chief executive tweeted moments after the rocket exploded on its landing, celebrating SN8's successful 8-mile-high ascent with his followers. The FAA, which oversees ground safety and issues license for private launches, was not so happy. Oh, come on, FAA, man. Cut us a break, bro. Okay. The so-called mishap investigation was opened that week, focusing not only on the explosive landing, but on SpaceX's refusal to stick to the terms of what the FAA authorized, the two people said. It was unclear what part of the test flight violated the FAA license, and an FAA spokesman declined to specify in a statement of The Verge, to the Verge, which is where I'm getting this news story from. Dang, man. Yeah, so, nah, man. Yeah, I'm putting on the tinfoil hat on this one, man, 'cause I'm seeing a conspiracy. Yeah, SpaceX been winning so hard right now, man, that any competitor, I don't know, if I was one of their competitors, I'd be like, listen, Mr. FAA guy. What you need, man? Because I need to look into something right quick. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, could it be some what do they call it? A kind of corporate type of corporate spy espionage and all types of tactics that be going on with these major corporations. Because anytime you got you know, when it was when NASA was under the government, and you know what I'm saying, and we didn't have the private companies doing everything like SpaceX and such, you know, and it was all through the government. You didn't have such articles. That's just what I'm saying. I mean, you didn't have as much as this, and I don't know, man. Because whenever you got private companies, man, you got to remember there's always competition, and other guys be trying to get their leg up, and hey, they look over here, look at you on the scrutiny, and be like, oh wait, they're breaking this code. Let's turn this in. Let's go call up the FAA. Blah blah blah. You know, you never know, man. That's kind of weird, man. I'm just saying. I'm not really implying that, but I'm just saying, to me that just seemed kind of fishy, especially if they saying they're not sure, but nobody's sure what the violations is. The FAA know, but you know what I'm saying, it's not publicly known. Like, come on, man. What's going on here? Let's see. The FAA will continue to work with SpaceX to evaluate additional information provided by the company as part of its application to modify its launch license. FAA spokesman Steve Combs said Friday, while we recognize the importance of moving quickly to foster growth and innovation in commercial space, the FAA will not compromise its responsibility to protect public safety. We will approve the modification only after we are satisfied that SpaceX has taken the necessary steps to comply with regulatory requirements. And, and that's all we know right there, because we don't know what all the infractions were and how they weren't, how they weren't, as they say, complying with the regulatory requirements, because we don't know what right now, as far as what the infraction is supposed to be, whatever they didn't comply with. Which could, so what I'm saying, that could be anything. Like, come on. The heightened scrutiny from regulators after the launch pad spectacle has played a role in a holding up of SpaceX's latest SN9 Starship test attempt, which the company said will happen on Thursday. I like that name, SN9. That's like that Stargate show, Stargate 9, was it, or something like that? SN9. Yo, some of the names of the spacecraft just be cool. Let's see, SpaceX latest S9 Starship test attempt, which the company said would happen on Thursday. The shiny steel alloy 16-story tall rocket was loaded with fuel and ready to fly. Oh no, but it won't happen. But at the time, FAA officials were still going through their license review process for the test because of several changes SpaceX made in its license application, a source said. Much frustrated with the process, took to Twitter. Unlike its aircraft division, which is fine, the FAA Space Division has a fundamentally broken regulatory structure, he tweeted on Thursday. Oh, man, he fired back. He was not happy about the situation, and he wouldn't be. But I don't know if talking down on the FAA would make them ease up a bit. Yeah, don't do that now. Now, they might be unhappy, just don't get into the whole argument stuff with them. He said their rules are meant for a handful of expandable launches per year from a few government facilities. Under those rules, humanity would never get to Mars. Yeah, listen, this man is serious about getting to Mars, man. He don't want the holdups. Yes. As long as he don't get into no big back and forth with the FAA, because they can shut you down. Yeah, that's a government entity that'll come in and just shut everything down, man. Let's see, the license violation and subsequent license review process has escalated tensions between SpaceX and the world's biggest transportation agency. For years, Musk and others in the space industry have bemoaned the age-old U.S. regulatory framework for launch licensing as innovation and competition in space skyrockets. In response, the U.S. Department of Transportation, which delegates its launch oversight duties to the FAA, unveiled new streamlined launch licensing regulations last year. They have yet to go into effect. The U.S. Department of Transportation, which is over the FAA, well, the FAA is under them, and I know how that could be being a trucker, because I got to go through the same thing with the, it's the same thing, DOT, the Department of Transportation, DOT. So Elon Musk got shut down by the DOT. Oh man. Yeah, he's a new space trucker. We're gonna go from being truckers to space truckers, man. And first we got to get to Mars, though. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, Musk's tweet calling out the FAA to his 44 million followers was the latest embodiment of the billionaire's disgruntled attitude towards regulators to deal with his business's rapid state of development. Yeah, like I said, man, I know he was frustrated, but like I said, I don't think that was the right move, tweeting out, because, yeah, you know what I'm saying, they see that the wrong people get offended, and, you think they in there with the little clipboards writing down infractions now. I mean, once they get offended, really, oh, man, they'll really be on you. They'll be all over the place, man. SpaceX, founded by Musk in 2002, has sued the Air Force twice, once successfully in 2014 for the right to compete for Pentagon launches, and in another unsuccessfully in 2018 for losing out on competitive development funds for Starship and the company's other rockets. Yeah. Yo, I didn't even know he could sue the Air Force. And he sued them twice? Yo. Dang, Elon. Yeah, Elon must be doing the most, man. In 2018, when he was fined $20 million by the Securities and Exchange Commission for allegedly misleading Tesla investors via Twitter, Musk told 60 Minutes, "I do not respect the SEC. I do not respect them." Yeah, you have to turn his mic off sometimes, man. Yo, man. Yo, man, he be going at... no. A few hours before the SN8 Starship test in December, while Musk was in Boca Chica securing approval for the FAA license that SpaceX ultimately violated, he was asked in a virtual interview with the Wall Street Journal what role government should play in regulating innovation. Musk replied, "A lot of the time, the best thing the government can do is just get out the way." Oh, come on, Elon Musk. Man, y'all, dang. Man, his people around him got to be like, yo, hey, yo. Hold up, just read this right here, man. You know what I'm saying? He's going to need a script or something and cut that out, man. Yeah, he get frustrated and say these little quotes that, you know what I'm saying, they get picked up by the media, they'll run with it. And whenever you talk about a government entity, man, a lot of times you have workers in the government that might get offended. Like, yo, he can't say that. Who he think he's talking to? Then, you know, you have all types of legal problems. You think you got shutdowns and stuff going on now, man. Man, you have every 2 feet you'll see a guy there from some government branch with a clipboard writing little notes. This is an infraction. That's an infraction. Come on, man. Certain stuff, best out and not say it, man. Just saying. But yeah, so that's the big drama over at the SpaceX right now. But yo, this man is serious about getting to Mars. This dude is not joking around. When it comes to Elon Musk, he's 100% focused on getting there. So, if it's a way to get to Mars, I'm pretty sure this man's gonna make it happen. And like I said, I like SpaceX, man. I think it's a wonderful company, man. They doing real big things. And like I say, if it wasn't for them, we'd still be riding on Russian rockets right now just to get up to the space station. So, SpaceX is helping us out a lot. I didn't know they was at odds with the government at times, but like I say, that could just be fixed with, hey man, listen, no more tweeting. Let's slow down on that. You got other stuff to focus on. You got time to be going back and forth like this. Yeah, but yeah, that was a real interesting story. I mean, I'm still trying to wrap my head around. It's like, that's as far as suing the Air Force. I didn't even know you could sue the Air Force. What? I never heard of that. This man's not only sued the Air Force, but he sued them twice and won one of the cases. I'm saying, I don't know. Elon must be doing the most, man. But yeah, so but yeah, I'm definitely y'all team SpaceX though, man. So I just hope everything go well and go accordingly. Oh man. Okay, the next news article is from National Geographic. This one's from National Geographic. Yeah, real good outfit. But they're talking about a mystery which a lot of people might know of. If you're first time hearing about it, the Russia's Dyatlov Pass. It's a real interesting story. I've read up on it a bit before. I've seen different little stories about it and docu-series about all types of stuff about it. I mean, nobody knows what happened, so it's like a real big conspiracy. And with that, let's just get into the article and then I can explain better. Okay, starts off by saying, has science solved one of history's greatest adventure mysteries? The bizarre deaths of hikers at Russia's Dyatlov Pass have inspired countless conspiracy theories, but the answer may lie in an elegant computer model based on surprising sources. A 62-year-old adventure mystery that has prompted conspiracy theories around Soviet military experience, Yetis, and even extraterrestrial contact may have its best, most sensible explanation yet, one found in a series of avalanche simulations based in part on car crash experiments in animation used in the movie Frozen. What the movie Frozen have to do with it? They said, yes, that could be what happened. Ariel or whatever the character name. Okay. In an article published today in the journal Communications, Earth and Environment, researchers present data pointing to the likelihood that a bizarrely small delayed avalanche may have been responsible for the gruesome injuries and the deaths of 9 experienced hikers who never returned from a planned 200-mile adventure in Russia's Ural Mountains in the winter of 1959. And I don't know, because I mean I heard the avalanche theory before, but the thing about the whole avalanche theory to me is like, because I mean they was talking about them pulling their clothes off and having burns and looking like a couple got hit by some kind of radiation. I mean, I don't know if an avalanche does all that. Let's continue with this. And what has become known as the Dyatlov Pass incident, 10 members of the Urals Polytechnic Institute in Yekaterinburg, 9 students and 1 sports instructor who fought in World War II, headed into the frigid wilderness on a skiing and mountaineering expedition on January 23, 1959. 1 student with joint pain turned back, but the rest, led by 23-year-old engineering student Igor Dyatlov, continued on. Yeah. I remember the one guy that they said with the joint pain that turned back. I remember I seen the movie with it, and in the movie he was like he was just wore out, because you hiking in the mountains, man. That wear anybody out, and he just wasn't. He thought he was physically fit and ready for the journey, and that he can put up with anything. But once he got into it, man, the halfway dude was like, nah, man. He was like, yo, this is too much work, man. Y'all ain't tired? Come on, man. What's going on? It's like, he was not in shape to keep up with these cats, man. The dude was like, yo, I'm out, man. He's like, yo, is somebody gonna carry me? Y'all pull me or something? Like, nah, man. I got to get back, man. So the student Igor Dyatlov continued on. According to camera film and personal diaries later found on the scene by investigators, the team made camp on February 1st, pitching a large tent on the snowy slopes of Kholat Syakhl, whose name can be interpreted as Dead Mountain. Yeah, usually when the place is called Dead Mountain, you ain't have to tell me too much more. I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm out of here. We're gonna go camping. Well, we're gonna go try to climb a mountain called Dead Mountain? Nah, man. Everybody had that name for a reason. Yeah, I am not climbing a mountain called Dead Mountain. So the name can be interpreted as Dead Mountain in the language of the region's indigenous Mansi people. The 7 men and 2 women were never heard from again. When a search team arrived at Kholat Syakhl a few weeks later, the expedition team was found just barely sticking out of the snow, and it appeared to cut open from the inside. Yeah, that's the tents was like, they was cut open from the inside. Like, say you're trying to escape and you can't get out because you got the front flap, the little door part of the tent, the front flap. That's where you get in and out. There will be like no reason at all. You should have to take your knife and cut open the top of it and climb out the top. That was one of the real big well, the whole thing is like crazy, a bunch of big weird mysterious things that they did that night. But yeah, that's just one of them. The expedition tent was found just barely sticking out of the snow, and it appeared cut open from the inside. The next day, the first of the bodies was found near a cedar tree. Over the next few months, as the snow thawed, search teams gradually uncovered more spine-tingling sights. All 9 of the team members' bodies were scattered around the mountain slope, some in a baffling state of undress. See, that's what I mean. They started taking their clothes off like like you're burning up, you're way too hot, like a sunbeam hitting you, or It could be radiation. It could be some kind of heat source that was an external heat source, because they didn't see no melted snow, so the heat was coming from inside, and that's what everybody that was trying to figure out what happened. That's what all they was talking about. Why would they start taking their clothes off? It's winter. You're up a mountain. It's snowing. It's cold as hell. Some of their skulls and chests had been smashed open. Others had eyes missing, and one lacked a tongue. Like, see, now you see why I say the tent wasn't the weirdest thing. Tent cut open. They all looked like they'd been beat to death. Whether they went crazy and started beating each other, or whether they pissed off the wrong space alien and he went gorillas on them and started smashing them. Because you know what I'm saying? Because some of their skulls and chests had been smashed open. Man, it's hard as hell to smash open somebody's skull or chest, especially if they're going to be fighting back. They're not going to just lay there. Okay, you can smash my skull open. Smash their chest open? Who or what does that? And these were normal people. It's not like they were psychos. So it's hard to believe they would have done that to each other. Like, man. And then others had eyes missing. One was missing his tongue. Come on, man. This is crazy. Each body was a piece in a grim puzzle, but none of the pieces seemed to fit together. A criminal investigation at the time blamed their deaths on an unknown natural force. And see, that part right there, the unknown natural force, because, you know, of course, the Soviets did a thorough investigation, and it was like, whatever it is, it's not human interaction that went on here. It's something more. That's why they just called it an unknown natural force. It's like, and the Soviet bureaucracy kept the case quiet. The lack of detail about the shocking event and apparent massacre that transpired in a deeply secretive state gave rise to dozens of long-lived conspiracy theories, from clandestine military tests to Yeti attacks. And Yeti, that's the snow version of Bigfoot. It's that, like over here, Bigfoot is brown, dark brown fur color, and in the snowy mountains, Bigfoot is white, and it's called Yeti. Yeah. I'm not buying that one. That's like, come on, man. That's, to me, that wouldn't even be a theory. I'm like, yeah, okay, y'all quit joking around. I'm talking serious right now, man. Damn Bigfoot. In the dead of winter, in the wake of renewed media interest in pervasive outlandish hypotheses, Russian authorities recently re-examined the case around the Dyatlov Pass incident and concluded in 2019 that an avalanche was primarily responsible for the 9 deaths. Key scientific details were absent from the report, however, which included a clear explanation as to how an avalanche could have taken place with no documented evidence of its occurrence left behind. Exactly. So it's an avalanche that disappears as soon as it happened. Like, for it to be an avalanche, the tents and stuff would have been covered with snow. You know what I'm saying? You could tell, when you go somewhere where there's an avalanche, you could tell the avalanche happened. There was no avalanche. It was just the regular snow that had been on the ground when the guys went up there climbing. I mean, what the heck? When they say an avalanche, how does an avalanche cut your tongue out your mouth? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If it's an avalanche and you're cold, why would you take all your clothes off? You know what I'm saying? Just, that's why I can't buy the avalanche thing. I thought they was going to talk about something. Saying the avalanche, come on, man. This led to continued doubt around the seemingly pat explanation from a government long infamous for its lack of transparency. Many argued that the avalanche theory, initially proposed in 1959, there you go, that's what I was saying. They been said the avalanche theory. That's what I'm saying. Well, why? They said the avalanche theory in 1959, and everybody's like, nah, I see those bodies. That is not no damn avalanche. And if it's an avalanche, okay, where's the avalanche? It's not even no snow out of place or nothing. It's just a regular snowfall. You know what I'm saying? So the avalanche disappeared. Yeah, they proposed that back in 1959 and nobody brought it. And they was trying to figure out what actually happened. Okay. So it says that many argue that the avalanche theory initially proposed in 1959 still didn't seem to stack up. The team's tent encampment was cut into the snow on a slope with an incline seemingly too mild to permit an avalanche. There was no snowfall on the night of February 1st that could have increased the weight of the snow burden on the slope and triggered a collapse. Most of the blunt force trauma-like injuries and some of the soft tissue damage were atypical of those caused by avalanches, whose victims usually asphyxiate. And if an avalanche had occurred, why was there a gap of at least 9 hours, according to the forensics data, between the team members cutting the slope for their encampment and the eventual avalanche? The curious delay was of particular interest to Alexander Pozrin, a geotechnical engineer at Zurich, one of Switzerland's federal institutes of technology. He had recently published a paper explaining how, strange though it may seem, an earthquake can trigger an avalanche with a gap ranging from mere minutes to several hours between the two events. While Pozrin grew up in Russia, he learned of the Dyatlov Pass story only a decade ago. He was fascinated by the infamous incident and what may have caused it, but was understandably wary of tackling the question solo. Johan Guam, head of the Snow Avalanche Simulation Laboratory at EPFL, another Swiss federal technical institute in Lausanne, got to know Pozrin around the time of the 2019 Russian inquiry into what happened at Dyatlov Pass, suspecting the avalanche delay issue held one of the keys to solving the mystery. They teamed up to create analytical models and computer simulations to try to replicate the obfuscated hours that stole the mountaineers' lives. Okay, all right. So to me, what I'm thinking is, because they said they was gonna, show how it could be possible that it was from avalanche by doing computer simulations. But to me, it's like, okay, I'm gonna take this computer and I'm gonna make this thing fit. This story that didn't fit back in 1959, I'm gonna take a computer and tweak it and make this story fit. Yeah, come on, man. What about the burns? Avalanches don't burn people. What about the guy with his tongue cut out? Avalanches don't catch you and cut your tongue out, man. What about there was no snow on the tent? It was just the regular snow on the ground, like when they first got there. But yet the top of the tent was cut open. And the tent was still right where they had nailed it down. Back in those days, they had the old tents. They didn't have no pop-up tents. They had the old tents where you have to have the rope, and you take these big spike nails, and you tie the rope to the spike, and you hammer that into the ground. That tent would have been all messed up, man. That tent wouldn't have been there. That tent would have been covered by snow. That tent didn't move. It was still nailed down, still right there in the same spot where they had put it. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. I'm gonna use this computer and I'm gonna make this avalanche theory work. Come on, man. That just calls more questions. Why are these guys trying to pretend like this is natural? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man. The scientific investigation came with an added benefit from Pozrin's wife, who is Russian. When I told her that I was working on the Dyatlov mystery for the first time, she looked at me with real respect, he says. The shallow slope argument against an avalanche was tackled early on. It turned out not to be all that shallow after all, and undulating topography on Kolat Sako covered by snowfall made the slope appear mild, but it was actually closer to 30 degrees, the rule of thumb minimum requirement for many avalanches. Reports dating back to the site's initial investigation also describe an underlying snow layer on the mountain that didn't clump together, providing a weak, slippery base that a lot of overlying snow could easily slide over. The local topography played a trick on them, says Pozrin. Then there was the question of the snow mass. The cut the team made in the snow to pitch their tent. it stabilized the slope, but additional snow had to have collected before any avalanche could happen. While weather reports record no snow that fateful night. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't even snowing at the time. There was no snow. I mean, it was the snow that was on the ground. Yeah, you can see the guy's footprints. And then you can see that his body was burned somehow. Tongue missing, beat to death, butt naked, took all his clothes off. I mean, come on, man. This ain't no avalanche, man. But, yeah. These guys can try to sell you that old theory if they want to, man. It didn't work back in 1959 because people got eyes and common sense. Can look and see. Oh, no, it's nothing here, man. I'm looking at it, dude. How you telling me there's nothing sitting there when I'm looking right at it? Man, come on, man. Yeah, so that's going to be it for me today. What's the lesson we learned today? Elon Musk is going to make it to Mars, bro. He's serious about getting to Mars. That's what we learned today. As usual, it's been fun. And I'll see y'all next week. And as I usually say about this time, y'all be blessed and peace.